Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here tonight. We're going to be talking to you about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that's sleep, and the importance of sleep, and how sleep deprivation actually negatively impacts one's overall well-being. So I'm going to start off tonight with a question, and I just want to ask all of you, and you can just shout out your answer, but how many hours on average would you say you get of sleep a night, in a typical night?
Six.
Maybe six.
Okay, so most of you guys are saying 6. So the average amount of time that an adult ages 18 and over should be sleeping a night is 7 to 9 hours. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention actually studied 75,000 people and found that 35% have admitted to getting less than 7 hours of sleep in a typical night. So the problem's out there. We're sleep deprived, we're not getting enough. So I feel like I know this class to some degree, right? Based on presentations a couple weeks ago, I know that we're concerned about our health, and we would love to have tools to help us monitor our weight and our general health and things like that. I have the simplest tool for you, and that's sleep. That's going home and getting a good night's sleep. So today I'm going to be talking to you about sleep deprivation. I'm going to go through the impact that it has on your general safety, health, and also your productivity. And then I'll talk about the causes of sleep deprivation and what some solutions are to overcome it. Okay, so thinking about our health, researchers at the University of Warwick found that individuals that sleep less than 6 hours a night and generally have disturbed sleep are 48% more likely of developing and even dying from a heart disease, and 15% more likely of developing and or dying from a stroke. So these are significant statistics. Safety. Okay, so this is a scary picture, right? 37% of Americans, and this is a statistics that the National Sleep Foundation actually put out, 37% of adults have admitted to falling asleep behind the wheel in the past year. That's terrifying. To kind of put it in perspective for you, researchers in Australia actually found that if you're driving in your car without sleep for 24 hours, it's equivalent to a driver that has a blood alcohol content of 0.10. So for those that might not be aware, the New Jersey state limit is 0.08 for drunk driving. So you're a greater hazard on the road if you're drowsy than if you're actually under the influence of alcohol. Pretty powerful, right? Productivity. So sleep deprivation actually causes U.S. businesses to lose about $63.2 billion a year in lost productivity. Here's some very interesting things that I found in my research, and that was that sleep deprivation actually played a factor in all 3 of these disasters. The Challenger explosion in '86, the Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska in '89, and then the Chernobyl nuclear explosion or nuclear accident. Sleep deprivation played a factor. It's not common knowledge, but it's there, and it's scary. So then the statistics are out there that show that sleep deprivation is detrimental to our health, our safety, and our productivity. So what are the causes of sleep deprivation? There are so many, and they're going to be unique to each individual person. They can either be medically diagnosed, such as sleep apnea, insomnia, or narcolepsy. But we're going to talk about ones that are more self-induced, meaning we're going to be able to overcome them easier. I'm going to talk about 3 of the most common. The first is the need that we feel to be tied into technology 24/7. 40% of Americans have actually admitted to using their cell phone in bed. I know I do, right? I feel the need to check my email before bed. I think probably most of us do. In addition, inappropriate napping, meaning if you nap too late in the day, say when you go home from work and you just want to take a quick snooze because you're tired from the day, or snoozing too long, generally more than 30 minutes a day, that has proven to impact your ability to sleep. And stress and anxiety, in this cartoon, if I can draw your attention to it, I relate to this well. When I come to work, sometimes all I can think about is sleep in the morning and wanting to be back in bed, yet when I'm at home and sleep, the first thing I think about is what I didn't get done in the office. So stress and anxiety absolutely plays a factor. in why people are so sleep deprived. Okay, so moving on to some of the solutions. We talked about some of the most common causes. There's even more solutions to combat this condition. So the first that I'll talk about is you should really limit the variation in your sleep time, meaning the time that you go to bed and the time you wake up in the morning between the weekend and the weekdays. So I know a lot of us get sleep deprived during the week and say, oh, we'll just catch up on the weekend. We'll sleep till 11 on the weekend. It actually doesn't work that way. The second is limiting your consumption of certain substances close to bedtime. So the four most common are food and drink, nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol. It varies when you can consume these and it not impact your sleep, but as a general rule of thumb, one should not eat after 2 to 3 hours before their bedtime. Caffeine is a little bit earlier. It's about 6 to 8 hours, and that's because caffeine stays in your system much longer. But all four of these substances have a way of making it difficult for you to fall asleep, either stay asleep, or even make it difficult for you to wake up in the morning. There's a couple more. So I don't mean to be a total downer and tell you everything that you can't do when you go home, because I know I'm perfectly guilty of going home and enjoying that glass of wine after dinner and before bed. So I'm not saying you don't have to limit or sacrifice these things. The beauty of this is there are things that you can do that do not require sacrifice. You can establish a pre-bed routine, such as taking a hot bath or reading a book or listening to soothing music. All three of those have actually been proven to help the body transition into the zone it needs for a deep sleep. Another one is splurge when it matters. Splurge on your mattress. Splurge on your pillow. You should actually replace your mattress every 9 to 10 years, which I was actually a little surprised about. It seemed like a long time. But your mattress should be comfortable yet supportive. And the last thing, and this is something that I do every single night, and I would really encourage all of you to do, is have a notepad handy next to your bed at night. And the reason I tell you to do this, and I can tell you from experience, when I go home, like I said, I think about what I didn't accomplish that day in the office, or I think about what I have on my calendar tomorrow. If you have a notepad next to your bed, jot down those ideas before you fall asleep. It allows you to release them from your mind. You're not burdening your mind to remember those things, yet they'll be there in the morning. So in conclusion, sleep deprivation, as we've proven here tonight, can be extremely detrimental to not only your own safety, health, and your productivity, but also the safety of others around you. There's many causes, but there's even more solutions that are easy to implement, practical, and simple. So in conclusion, it might sound a little silly to put sleep on your to-do list, but next time you do it, please make sleep a priority.